So welcome back. We are looking into the balancing of rotating masses in single and several planes. So in the first part of this presentation, we have seen both the cases, and now we are going to see how we can solve one of the numerical of several masses in the several planes. Okay, how you can do the balancing of it. So let us understand this particular statement of this problem. So there are three pulleys A, B, C as it is specified in this particular diagram. So there are three pulleys, pulley A, pulley B and pulley C, okay, mounted on a particular shaft. There is a shaft here and this particular pulley is mounted, and the axial distance between A and B is 1200 mm. So between A and B the distance is given 1200 mm, and between B and C it is 900 mm. The pulley mass on A, B and C is 15, 20 and 16 kg. So in the tabulated form actually I have listed these three major planes A, B, C, okay, and the masses of A, that is 15 kg, then the mass of B as 20 kg and mass of the third C, that is 16 kg is noted. While the distance of CG from the axis of the shaft is, now whatever CG of this particular disc A is there, it is at a radius of 25 mm from the center of the shaft. This is the center of the shaft. So from here it is at a distance of 25 mm. So it is called as RA, small RA actually. So that is specified here, that RA is equal to 25 for this pulley A. For pulley B that radius is equal to 10 mm, and for pulley C that radius is equal to 20 mm, as it is specified in the statement. So bearings supporting the shaft are at 2.65 meter apart. So there are two bearings. This is one bearing and this is another bearing. So these two bearings are at a distance of 2.65 meter apart. It is 2.65 meters away from each other. Okay. So this is given, and equidistance from pulley A and C. So from A and from this C, these particular bearings are at an equal distance. So we have to find out the angular position of A and B. So angular position of A, B and C, so that the static balance is achieved. So now these masses, where exactly these masses are acting, their angular positions are unknown. Okay, and that you have to find out by considering that there is a static balance. Static balance means that the sum of forces, if we draw the force polygon by using these three masses, so it should be a closed polygon. So by using that closed polygon, because when you draw the forces as a vector, so it will be having magnitude and direction. So magnitude here we can get as they have specified as the mass and the radius. So you can get the magnitude of this force by taking the product of this mass and radius, and directions of these masses can be calculated by considering the static balance of it. Okay, so that is the first thing that you have to find out, that is angular position of this A, B and C, means where this mass is to be attached. Okay, so at what, whether this should be here or whether this B should be here, okay, from its center point. So if I consider this reference line, so this is my 0 degree angle, this is 90 degree, this is 180, below that 270, like that. So where exactly this particular mass is there, that you have to find out as a static balance. And now also it is desired to place weights at a radial distance of 400 mm, okay, so that the dynamic balance is achieved. It means you have to attach the masses over here on the same pulleys at a distance of 400 mm. So on these pulleys you have to attach the masses at a distance of 400 mm, so that the dynamic balance will be achieved. As you can see here, these are the masses acting in a different plane. So if you have the static balance of it, so the forces balance will be obtained, but still there will be a couple, or the bending moment will be acting over that shaft, and when we try to balance that, then it is called as dynamic balance. So we have to balance the couples also. And if the weights are to be placed in the pulleys A and C, now for balancing this you have to put the weight in the pulley A and C, only in these two pulleys. So this pulley A is preferred for putting that mass, and this pulley C is preferred for putting that particular mass. So in these two pulleys actually you have to put that particular mass, and that quantity of that mass you have to find out, and that mass you have to attach at a radius of 400 mm. Okay, So you have to find the magnitude of that particular mass and angular position of the masses. So where you have to attach that mass and what is the amount of that or the quantity of that particular mass which is to be attached at a radius. So radius is given to us, but angular position and magnitude of that mass is to be obtained. So let us first of all find out the existing position of this particular masses. So for static balance we will draw the force polygon and definitely that should be closed. So again we will refer to this table. We are having these three planes and their masses were written, also we have written the radiuses in meters, okay, and their angular positions are specified. So initially when there is no idea about any of the mass positions, we will consider the first mass in plane A as a 0 degree. That means difference position we will consider 0. So this is generally, we are assuming that this mass of this is over here at A, okay, 0 degree. And with respect to this now, where will be that masses B and C will occur? I have to check. So for that, now just we will calculate the magnitude of the force, which is nothing but the product of this mass m in kg multiplied by this radius in meter. So this product you will get it as 0.375 kilogram meter it will be. Similarly for B you will get this centrifugal force as 0.200 and this third force will be 0.320. Now to draw the force in the form of vector, we have this particular magnitude, okay, but direction is unknown. So initially we are assuming the direction of first force as 0 degree. So we can draw that first vector as O to A, whose length is equal to this 0.375. Now when you are going to draw in the form of graph, so we have to select a particular scale. So let us, for drawing this force polygon, select a scale in which the 1 centimeter will be considered as equal to 0.1 kilogram meter. So this is 0.375. It means approximately the length or exactly the length of this particular vector will be equal to 3.75 centimeters. So initially you have to draw this vector with a 3.75 centimeter, okay, and represent it as a first vector or the first force due to the mass A, okay, as O to A. And then another two masses are also there, which is 0.2 and 0.32 kilogram meter. So if I am using this particular scale, so definitely 2 centimeter will be the length of this vector and 3.2 centimeter will be the length of this vector. So I have to take the distance in my compass. So I will draw first of all distance of 2 centimeter in my compass and I will draw one arc here. So this arc will be drawn first, and similarly since I have to make this close because only 3 vertices are there, so that becomes a triangle. So third component will be 3.2. So I will take the distance of 3.2 in my compass and I will draw the another arc here. So these two arcs will be intersecting at this particular point, and then I have to draw another force here like this, okay, having this direction this way, and the third force will be like this, okay. So let me draw these forces after getting that intersecting point. So it will look like this. So this is the force drawn A to B for this B force, and B to again O for this force C. So you can write C here also, okay. So now this way once I complete the force polygon, now I have to get the angular positions of it. So for the first mass, angular position is 0, that we have already considered initially, assumed. Now the angular position of the mass B can be measured with respect to this reference line. So from here I will make the measurement of that force. So it is nothing but equal to theta B, and that theta B of output comes to be 121.5 degree. And similarly, this is the third vector, that is B to C, and this vector starting point is here. So this is my reference line, horizontal line. From here if I measure the angle, this is 90, this is 180 plus this angle. So the total angle I am getting it as 212 degree. 212 degree. So that is what I am going to mark it over here in this particular table. So this is the angular position of this third mass. So this way, for static balancing, we have drawn the force polygon, which should be a closed one, and by drawing the closed force polygon, we got the values of the angular position of these three masses A, B and C, okay. Now we will try to find out the second part of it, that is to attach some mass at A and you have to attach some mass at C, okay, and its magnitude and its position that you have to find out. So let us draw one more table using that additional planes of A and C. So now this diagram again it is considered, and now I am going to add some additional mass over here and additional mass over here C. So I will be writing that planes ABC as usual, first ABC planes, and now again I will consider an additional plane A1 and C1 because I have to attach some masses over here to balance this particular system, okay, dynamically. So now I am specifying the given data again. The mass A, MA, MB is 20, MC is 16, and this is the unknown mass that you have to find out, MA1 and MC1. This is the unknown mass you have to find out on the pulley C. So these are the radiuses for pulley A, B and C, and this is the radius given at which you can attach the mass on the pulley A and on the pulley C. Now angular position of the first plane, that is 0, we have considered, and we found out it 121.5 for the B mass or the B pulley, and for the C pulley it is 212. And these angular positions you have to find out at which location you have to mount this particular masses MA1 and MC1. So these are the unknowns, 4 unknowns. So now if I draw the force column, so just the multiplication of M into R, it is as it is which you have done in the last slide, 0.375, this is second 0.2, this is 0.32 kilogram meter is the force. Now if I multiply this and this, so here I will get one unknown MA1, and this another unknown I will get MAC1. Okay, so it is 0.4 into MAC1 and 0.4 into MA1. Now there are two unknowns here, so definitely we cannot draw the force diagram with the two unknowns. Now we will try to get the couple. So for getting the couple, let us consider any one plane as a reference plane. So we are considering plane A as a reference plane. So distance of that plane A with respect to itself will be 0. So that is marked over here. And therefore, if I have to get the couple, so couple is nothing but equal to the product of force and the distance on the reference plane. So this product will be equal to 0. Then distance of the plane B from reference plane. The reference plane is A. So A and B distance is 1.2. So I can write over here 1.2. Then distance of C from A, so it is 1.2 plus this 0.9, so it becomes 2.1. So 2.1 meter. Then reference of A1 with respect to A, so A and A1 is here only. So A1 is itself here, so somewhere you have to attach the mass on the A1. Okay, so A1 is itself, so that will be again 0. And then C1, so A and C again it is 2.1, because C and C1 is the same plane. C1 is here itself, because you have to attach the mass on the C1 also. So now if I take the product of this is my couple for the pulley B, this is couple for the pulley C, couple for A1 is 0, and this is the couple 0.84 MC1. So if you see this couple column, you will find out that there is only one unknown MC1. So definitely by using this data, we can, if you draw the couple polygon, the unknown vector will be giving me the value of this MC1. Okay, so let us draw the configuration diagram by using this particular angular position of the masses which is available to us. So we have this A, B and C. These three angular positions are known to us. So we will draw the configuration diagram by using these three angles. Okay, so A is 0, then second angle is 121.5, so this is the angle of B, and this is 212 for angle of C. Okay, these three angles here are being drawn. So now we have to make use of these angular positions and this couple column. So definitely first is 0, so we cannot draw that vector for this, but second is 0.24. okay, so let us consider one scale for drawing this couple polygon. So if I consider 1 centimeter is equal to 0.1 kilogram meter, so accordingly I will get certain length of this particular vector. Okay, so with that length I will draw one vector first. So I will consider this as a starting point O to B. I will draw one line. Okay, and this line will be having inclination equal to this mass OB. Okay, now once this is drawn, then I will have to draw the couple for 0.672. Proportional to that length I have to draw for C. So inclination of the C is here, so it will be having inclination like this. That vector will be coming there. So let us draw that vector. So suppose the length of this vector is up to here, so this is drawn C. Now A is 0, B I have drawn, and C also I have drawn. So now remaining is nothing but this C1. So whatever is remaining, I have to join this with this particular O. Okay, and that is my actually the balancing couple. So if I draw it like this, it will be the balancing couple, and then I have to measure the length of this particular line, like from C to O, okay, and multiply it by the scale, okay. So that product will be nothing but equal to MC1, okay, and therefore I will get the magnitude of this MC1, and that is equal to 0.842 kg. And I can also get a angular position of this particular vector. So if I consider this as a reference plane, so from here if I measure the angle, so this angle is nothing but equal to 12 degree. So this way I will get that data. Now once I get this data, I have to update this data into this particular table of angular positions, so that I can go for finding then theta c and this MC1. So theta a1 and MA1, because just now we have got this value of theta c1. So this is theta c1 equal to 12 degree, and MC1 is equal to 0.842. Now let us draw the force polygon here. So we have whatever data we have calculated from this diagram, okay, we have just noted over here that this angle is specified, and now there is only one unknown here, okay. So in the force polygon also we can update this data, so we can take the multiplication of this mass 0.842 which you have got by using this couple polygon, this multiplied by this radius, that is giving me this particular force. So now I can draw this force diagram, because there are now only one unknown available. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and this fifth line, that is unknown. So let us draw first O to A, okay, which is nothing but equal to this O to A. Then I can draw the position of another mass, that is B. So from here I have to draw the force, centrifugal force for this B. So for B it is 0.2. So I will draw one force like this, okay, in this direction. So this way it will be drawn, the O to A to B, okay. Now from B again I have to draw this third force, that is C, 0.32 its magnitude. By taking a proper scale here, again I have to draw it like this, third force. So you can draw it like this, third. And after that there is the C1. So this is C1 available, 0.3368. So from here I will take a distance in the compass, and actually now even compass distance is not required because this angle is available with me. So at an angle of 12 degree from here I will draw one line, and it will give me the intersecting point over here. So that is point C1, okay. Now from here actually I want this particular polygon also closed, so I have to close this polygon. So from this point now again I have to go to the starting point. So starting point was O. So from here if I have to draw the point O, the line will be on the same line as the line has come from this C to C1, okay, that was the line 4. So now from C1 again it will go to O, so that is nothing but line 5, okay, and it is equal. And now if I measure the length of this, okay, and divide by its radius, so radius is same, 0.4 and 0.4 here. So as radius is same, mass will also same, and therefore MA and MC will be equal, and that is equal to 0.842 kg. And now if I have to determine the angular position of this, so I have to take this as a reference, because your vector is starting from this point downward. So angle measured will be 90 plus 180 plus this, so it will be total 192 degree, okay. So this is what you have got the position of this MA1 also, that is 192, okay. Now these positions I am going to mark in the diagram just for the understanding. That means on plane C additionally you have to attach this mass, which is equal to 0.842 at an angle of on C it is 12 degree. So at a 12 degree you have to attach one mass on this pulley C, and on the same mass of 0.842 kg on pulley A at an angle of 192 from here. This angle is 192 from here, so that is mass attached over here. So this is the way you have solved this balancing problem. So thank you very much.